What up? What up?
Cool, cool. So I want you to check that out. So it's a heavy documentary. It goes into different seasons. The first season they talk about Heinz, Hershey, um, Heinz, Hershey, uh, Post Oak, Kellogg's, right? And they talking about them. These are foods that was revolutionary. Helped build America, yada yada yada. But again, I'm looking at it. When I look at it, I look at it from a economics. I look at it from an investing. I look at it from a legacy. I look at it from being able to lobby, because a company like Kellogg's, yeah, so they created the laws on how the FDA come about.
Yeah.
Because at one point in time in America, it was, when they were selling tonics. So that was way before, when they had things like tonic, and people was creating tonics, and they clean it. It'll undrain your toilet and clean your body. So what was happening was they didn't have. I can say I'm selling gold water like 19 keys, but I got all kind of BS in it, and it was legal. So companies like Kellogg's, they came about, and it was like, nope. To keep people from copying what they was doing, they lobbied laws, and they got laws pushed by Franklin Roosevelt, so where you couldn't do certain things. And so the whole while I'm looking at it, I was like, damn, I gotta tell my brother about this, because when he watch it, he from a different perspective.
Oh, no, I'm
yeah,
on.
I know where you gonna bring it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm in the lab right now studying, so I my ears perked when you said you had something for me, man. I'm in the deep chambers right now for the tour.
I can't wait to, just because I know what I'm doing with it. You know what I'm saying? And I know how I'm gonna bring it. I already know how I'm gonna implement it. Even the way it goes to Kentucky Fried Chicken, how that came about. This dude really killed somebody. Literally killed two white dudes. Literally killed two white dudes to get that. But I know the way you gonna do it and your intelligence. And that's the thing, like, I don't mind saying my brother intelligent. You know what I'm saying? So I know what you gonna do with it. I know how you gonna break it down, and I just can't wait to see it, brother.
And that's on what platform?
So it's on Amazon Prime, but it's under like the History Channel. Yeah, so like I bought it. So I bought that. I be buying them docuseries all the time about stuff about America, because but you always gotta watch it from a higher level, because they can only tell the story in the way that benefits. They're gonna make the people look heroic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're gonna make the people look heroic, like, yo, this was a game, but they're not gonna talk about, you know what I'm saying, the other stuff that had to happen for that to take place.
Right. That shit was all mafia back then. That's why
all mafia.
Every single industry of business back then was mafia. Like you ain't no Cinderella story beginning. Twinkle in the wind, we sprinkled and had a big business. I mean, look at Coca-Cola, started off as a drug business.
They got Coca-Cola on here.
Yeah.
And they literally talk. Watch this the creative part. So once they come up with the Food Administration Act that Kellogg's come out with, after he come up with that, so Coca-Cola was originally, this is crazy. So Coca-Cola was originally made by a scientist. It was really made by a scientist for some type of drug he was doing. When he passed away, the dude who wound up getting the fame for Coca-Cola, at the people's funeral, he went and bought Coca-Cola, the formula, from the family for $600.
Oh yeah, he got a bag,
bro. Once you see it, you're gonna be like, you're gonna be crazy. So
it's funny as you say that, because it's like in this country, it's like, MDMA. It's a documentary on Netflix about getting high, right? And they go through all of the different drugs from like the 60s to the 70s and how they got classified and what they originally was used for, and how the history is kind of mixed up and connecting it to something negative, but the original use cases didn't actually have any real negative claims that was substantial. You know what I'm saying? Like MDMA and how it was like curing depression and it was creating this whole love revolution inside of people.
Mm-hmm.
But all of the drugs that, you know, could possibly have a positive side effect, those are all classified. You know what I'm saying? And that's where you get the Food and Drug Administration. They classified those so that they can continue to sell pharmaceutical drugs that help with side effects versus drugs that actually heal and cure things.
Mm-hmm.
So niggas could still drink soda for 100 years. That's not illegal, even though it's connected to diabetes and
Yep.
smoking. That's not illegal, even though it's connected to cancer. But doing a psychedelic drug is,
Mm-hmm.
even though that's particularly scientifically shown to help reduce depression, suicidal thoughts, and rewire the brain. So America is one, like the pharmaceutical industry is the biggest mafia in the world by far.
Watch this.
By far.
So here's what people. So I see people, somebody saying something, but watch this. So they saying that they banned Coke in the 70s, but watch this. It wasn't because of Coca-Cola. It was because too much caffeine. Watch this. It short though. It talk about it on this thing. When you see like, what? This is crazy. So what happened was originally. So after Kellogg's comes with the no, I'm lying. After Kraft went to the people because once he came up with ketchup, and then after he came up with ketchup, people started mocking it. So he gives Franklin D. Roosevelt a whole bunch of money, and what he does is he does this the way he went to the government. He put 2 glasses of alcohol in front of him, and he says, I know that you are a alcohol connoisseur. You love alcohol. He said, one of these is pure alcohol. Another one of these is alcohol mixed with like some other stuff. And so he said, which one is which? So the president get it, he smell it, put it down, he smell it. And he said, this one right here is the one with all alcohol. And so Crap Hines' son said, are you sure? Are you willing to put your life on it? And so when he looked at it, he said, people doing this every day with this ketchup. He said, this ketchup is made with whatever. Every day somebody is remaking my ketchup saying they got this, and they not proved because before you didn't have to have the ingredients in it. Yeah. So that's how you get the idea of you had to start putting the ingredients in your food. So Kraft Heinz is the reason why that happened. Fast forward, Coca-Cola buys the dude who, because Coca-Cola always, it was in Atlanta. The dude who had it was in Atlanta. So when he went to the dude's funeral and bought Coca-Cola for his wife and his son for $300, he gets the recipe, he pushed Coca-Cola. But then what he did was he doubled the caffeine. He doubled the caffeine and took out, they had real Coca-Cola in it. They had real Coke in it.
That shit had to be, boy, that was, boy, people was sipping on Coke. Yo, was gone.
Bro, they had
everybody was high back in them days.
They had real Coke extract in it because
bro, just not to cut your wisdom, but just think about that. Like everybody, all our parents, children, everybody who did Coke, who drank Coca-Cola did Coke back in the day.
Coke because it comes from the original. That's why it was called Coca-Cola. So what he did was he then doubled the caffeine. Watch this, and took some of the Coke out of it. Watch this. Because of the law that Franklin Roosevelt put in, they kicked this dope down and said that because he didn't have, watch this, because he took some of the Coke out and doubled the caffeine, they sued him. Because they wanted more of the cocaine than the caffeine.
Yeah. And so it was like false advertisement.
False advertisement. So they sued him. And so what he had to do was he had to go back and lessen the caffeine and add more of the Coke extract.
That blue
we had to add more of the Coke extract. Here. So they said he didn't do that. They said if he didn't do that, he couldn't use the name Coca because that's where it come from.
Yeah. the coca leaf.
But I'm telling you, when I was looking at it, I was like, oh, I'm telling you, I'm watching it and I know the perspective I'm seeing it from. I said, Key's gonna have a field day if he watched this.
Yeah. I think most people don't realize, like, when you go back to products in America, like, especially most of the food that we eat, we go look at our cabinet, we don't realize it was a psychologist that implanted a campaign
Mm-hmm.
to figure out how to get people to buy products that normally they didn't care or want whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they become staples in our family cabinets, that traditionalism is then now passed down to you.
Mm-hmm.
But your staple of food pyramid, that shit was created by psychologists. It wasn't by health physicians. Because you got to think, different companies was lobbying to be a part of that. So it's like, I always go back to the Edward Bernays example when he wanted people to, eat bacon, and he connected it to a hearty breakfast. So people
Mm-hmm.
started eating bacon with their breakfast. Same thing with, they wanted to get women to smoke cigarettes. So he connected it to a rebellion against man's power
Mm-hmm.
because it was seen as just men. So it became like a torchlight of freedom. So it's like most of the things that we do today is based on social engineering,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's like, and that's why when you look at certain words like freedom and liberation, they don't mean what they mean today. Somebody could use that to just sell you more products because now your buying habit starts to change in connection to your new ideologies and perceptions.
Mm-hmm.
So the independent womanist, feminist, her buying habits is going to
Uh-huh.
change. The new effeminate black man, his buying habits now change. Look at LVMH. Look how much money he's getting now that men are buying purses too. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the liquor companies. Women, for the first time in history, are the highest
Yeah.
level of drinkers,
Yeah.
right? Like, and it's funny because I was looking at this scientific report on how when male fruit flies, when they get rejected, they seek alcohol, right?
Mm.
And I believe the same thing is happening to women today. You know what I'm saying? They become emasculated. They're being rejected, right? And now they're drinking more and they're covering it up by overconsumption. And that overconsumption becomes another industry that the Edward Bernays or Bernard, you know what I'm saying, get to benefit off of. So it's like you have to be careful what you consider your
Mm-hmm.
identity, what you consider your freedoms and your dreams and your riches, because you really could just be part of somebody else's scheme.